past 3 years of my life really spun out of control. I pretty much had denied what had happened to me growing up. It was a different time, too. I mean, I think the big thing back then is like, you know, you just go out in your yard and you play. Not that they didn't care, everybody trusted everybody back then, it seemed. This neighborhood that I feel buried in it. That's the house where, like, a lot of the real bad stuff happened.
"200 men standing in our studio audience right now. Each one is holding a picture of themselves at the age when they say they were first sexually abused.
1 in 6 boys.
1 in 6 boys.
1 in 6 boys is sexually abused.
For the age of 18.
1 in 5 youth.
1 in 5 youth
Received a sexual approach
Over the internet in the past year.
less than 10%.
Less than 10% of childhood abuse
is reported to the police.
9 kids per hour.
Are being molested every day.
220 cases per week.
80,000 kids per year.
60 million.
60 million.
60 million childhood survivors of sexual abuse.
Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. This is your life.
It was a very, very hot topic, a topic that had been we've been inundated with in the media.
A young man who brought down a football legend in Pennsylvania.
Been involved with Little League and Pop Warner football.
Former Londonderry High School English teacher,
a youth soccer coach, is under arrest, accused of child molestation.
For sending nude photos of herself.
First and second degree molestation of a child.
Sexually molesting teenage boys.
Continual child sexual abuse.
Coach Jerry Sandusky.
Former altar boy.
15-year-old student.
The victims were piling up.
More alleged victims are coming forward.
Involving 2 victims.
2 new victims they didn't know about. 500 victims of sex abuse by priests in the Archdiocese of Los Angeles.
There's an older kid that used to live there. He was late high school, almost college or whatever. He's the one that, you know, he used to babysit us.
This idea that he had to be able to take his story and many other people's stories and be able to make one film told in an intelligent way, an insightful way, do the survivors justice by telling a story that was rooted in the reality and the truth and the grittiness of that experience.
First time, you know, we're upstairs, me and my best friend, and we're playing around and goofing off like we normally did, and he came in.
When that moment of personal crisis hits, and it can vary for everybody, for Brett, certainly it was a type of bottom that you hear about. Lose the job, lose people's faith, lose people's trust, but there's a spectrum. Internally, it's about, when do I reach my bottom?
I was tired of being scared of pain, and so I would just hold pain on me. And then it became, felt good. Then it started becoming pretty addictive.
What affects one affects us all. And I think by increasing that awareness, that we're all better for it. And I think that's why the friends, the family, the wives, the significant others, all of these various segments of society, you know, we're all affected by it.
Finding that place of healing is a very difficult one, but the level of raw emotion that continued to show up throughout the script is a pretty important one, because that's what people tend to stay away from.
Coming here, I feel like it doesn't have a power over me anymore.
We've really made an effort to be truthful, to be honest, and to emphasize the healing process, and rather than the result.
The fact that there is hope it's exciting. I mean, most men never think that they'll have that.
I advocate and support and endorse and want to push this story and the telling of the story because it's directly connected to, I think, a doorway for healing for a lot of people. Sometimes, depending on how shut down someone is, they may not have the words or even understand what's happening until they see a story or hear people talking about it, and they connect, and then that allows them to start their own process.
After coming out of the darkness and actually helping people and producing this and getting it out there and sharing my story and them being able to relate, it's really nice to know that I'm not alone, that they're not alone.
I am not alone.
I am not alone.
I am not alone.
I am not alone.
I'm not alone.
I am not alone.
We are 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 not alone.
We share that bond. It's still a long journey for me. There's no doubt about it. I just want to be happy.